What's up, guys? It's Carson back here on Toxic Gaming today with week 4 of the PGL, the Pokemon Global League, going against Norsey, coach of the Boston Silk Scarfs. And as you can see on your screen here, we got a little preview of the battle and stuff. He brought a Donphan, his Hitmontop, the Heatran, Latios, Mimikyu, and Thundurus T, which I was a little confused about why the Mimikyu was there when I had a thing like Excadrill that I could ignore the disguise and stuff. I was a little confused. But to go over our team real quick, as you can see, we have a Scarf Tapu Lele with Psychic Moonblast, Hidden Power Fire, and Focus Blast, enough to, I believe, outspeed his Mega Aerodactyl that he had on his team. Didn't decide not to bring it, but we do outspeed a Mega Aerodactyl set. We also have a Choice Scarfed Vaporeon with Water Absorb, Hidden Power Fire, Scald, Synchro Noise, and Ice Beam. Basically, we were going to hit everything pretty fucking hard. The things on his draft that we had Synchro Noise for was a Toxapex and Keldeo, which would really be nice to pop those things, surprisingly. And then really Scarf Vaporeon could do some decent cleanup later, it seemed like, according to his draft. We have Troupleberry Tyranitar with Sandstream, Stealth Rock Pursuit, Thunder Punch, and Rock Slide. Mostly all attack and HP, a little bit of speed investment to not get creeped on that much, and to outspeed no investment Hitmontop. Then we have a Charizard X, our Wheeler and everything with Dragon Dance, Declaw, Flare Blitz, Earthquake, fairly standard Charizard X. And I believe at +1 we outspeed a regular Latios at this point. Then we have Log, our Komala with Wish, Earthquake, Protect, and Rapid Spin. All special defense and HP invested, a little bit in an attack for Earthquake to pop a Heatran, something like that. But basically Komala is trying to be our special wall here on this team. And then finally we have really the thing that was made to clean up everything on his draft at a certain point was Excadrill, Perfect 10 with leftovers, and Sandrush with Iron Head, Earthquake, Shadow Claw, and Swords Dance. Max attack, only need 28 in speed to outpace Mega Aerodactyl in the sand. And basically, Excadrill, like, he knew Mold Breaker. I assume he knew that Mold Breaker, Excadrill, Ironhead, it ignores Mimikyu's disguise, so I won't have to worry about breaking it. I can just one-shot it. But even with this, if he had to bring it in, I can take almost any attack Mimikyu wants to do and Ironhead it, break its disguise, and Ironhead it a second time and kill it. If I did break the disguise early, then I just simply Ironhead and kill. Like, there's nothing that Mimikyu can really touch me with that will threaten me so much. It does get things like Wood Hammer, and then if it ran random Hidden Power Fire for some reason, it was a lot more threatening for my Excadrill to his Mimikyu than his Mimikyu was to my Excadrill. And I didn't really think about it at the time, but as I see it now, my team isn't that appreciative of Hitmontop. Really, I have Tapu Lele and then Char X to kind of do something to it. Vaporeon's nice, but if he's not burned, he's gonna just do damage to me, and I don't have a way to exactly heal up Vaporeon besides just Wisp Pashing with Komala. It didn't work out the way the matchup didn't go the way I thought it would, but we're gonna get right here into the battle pretty soon. Okay, we're getting right into the battle here. Norsey's challenging us and all these things. We actually decided to lead Tapu Lele. I thought it would be a decent number of leads for what he had, even if it was the Donphan. And hindsight being 2020, I should have led anything but Tapu Lele, because as you're gonna see here, we get our Psychic Surge up. Really, I know Psychic's not gonna obviously one-shot because it's sturdy, but I can do two-shot this thing easy. While if he tries to get rocks up, you can see Psychic does at least 78%, and he clicks Gunk Shot and hits it. And I completely forgot that it got Gunk Shot, and Tapu Lele is down turn 1. So again, turn 1, I misplayed hard just by picking the wrong lead. I should have done anything other than Tapu Lele at that point to take on this. And it probably should have been Scarf Vaporeon to go, but I go right into the Vaporeon now. Should have been in here in the beginning, but I'm going to click Ice Beam here on his switch out. Because really, I figured he would go into like, the Dragon or Thundurus that he had. But he goes into the Hitmontop and intimidates me. And if I would have Scalded and burned this thing like second turn in the game, that would have been a lot nicer. But really, Ice Beam here doesn't do enough damage to really mitigate me staying in for a long time and taking this thing out. But at the same time, I'm thinking, I'm a fucking Vaporeon. What's he really going to do to me? So I go for a second Ice Beam. I'm going to bring this guy really close to half and bring him right at half for now, and he Toxics me, and I'm like, okay, this is defensive Hitmontop. This isn't Technic-top. This isn't like a kind of bulky offensive top. This is like fully defensive Hitmontop with Toxic. His leftovers are going to bring him back over half, and now that I'm poisoned, I'm kind of like, okay, I want to save Vaporeon for right now. I just kind of want to keep him around a little bit. So I decided to switch out, and I'm going right into my Charizard X. It's kind of a risky switch here, but I'm just going to go right into him. He decides to pull the double and going back into his Donphan. And again, here I made another little questionable play going into this. Looking back on it, I should have just gone to kill this Donphan. What I decided to do here was Mega Evolve and D-Dance, knowing that if I got my +1, I outspeed Latios. If it's not a Scarf, I can outspeed and just kill things from here. I'm risking getting hit by Earthquake, but I'm like, maybe he'll just want to get his rocks up. So I go for the D-Dance here to try to get myself a little stronger. And I don't know the calcs exactly, but I believe if I would not have D-Dance, I could have killed him with the D-Claw at this range. But he goes for the Earthquake and gets pretty fucking nice damage on my Charizard X. And I'm like, okay, well, I know I can kill him with D-Claw here. To me, he's going to sack this thing out. If he goes into the Mimikyu, then more power to him. But I don't see him keeping this thing around for much more unless he wanted to get rocks up. So I just risked it, went for the D-Claw. Ended up taking out the Donphan, which was really nice to take it out without rocks on my side of the field. Really nice. And now he goes into the Latios. And to me, this says that Latios is Scarfed. That this has to be Scarfed. Why would else we switch it on a +1 Charizard X? I go into my Tyranitar. I know I can take any move he wants to do. I'm expecting a Draco. I'm expecting even a Psyshock randomly, but he clicks Surf. And it seemed a little odd to me at the time. Like, I get it, it does super effective damage to this and neutral to the Charizard, but it seemed like it could have done something better. But he doesn't knock me down under half. He's hidden by Sandstorm, and now I'm Pursuit Trap this thing. He decides to go for the switch out, and Pursuit is going to simply destroy this Latios. If he would have stayed in and surfed a second time, I still would have two-shotted him with Pursuit, but would it have been better? I'm not too certain on his part. He goes out into the Heatran, and I'm sitting there, okay, is he Scarf Tran with Flash Cannon or Earth Power? What's he going to do? So I decided to switch out into Vaporeon. Vaporeon's a nice hard check to this thing. Unless he goes Bloom Doom and stuff, but he decides to go for the Flash Cannon, which, again, does fucking nothing. and Vaporeon just chilling in here. He's poisoned. He's getting hit by Sandstorm. It's whittled down time on Vaporeon. I'm not a fan of that at all. I decided here he's going to switch out. He's not going to risk a Scald or anything. He goes out into the Mimikyu, and I'm just like, okay, why go out into this when I'm going to quick Scald anyway and risk Mimikyu getting burned? Because it can still get burned through the disguise. That's one thing I didn't understand a whole lot until after this battle. But it can still get burned through the disguise, so he really risked not getting burned by a Scald there, and just basically mitigating his Mimikyu. And so I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna go for Scald again. I mean, to me, in my mind, there's no reason for me not to. He's Play Rough, I live, Shadow Claw, I live, and I outspeed the Scald. And if I burn him, more fucking power to me. So I'm just gonna quick Scald again, doing pretty decent damage, getting him under half, and he wood hammers. Now, I'm very, very happy for one thing about this turn, and that's that Vaporeon has massive fucking HP, because as you can see, he brings him from half to under a fourth just with one wood hammer. Yeah, he got the kill, but this thing is going to get revenged hard. And I bring in Komala at this moment because I'm like, okay, what's he going to fucking do to me? I'm thinking of setting up a Wish or something. And right here, I should have probably just clicked Earthquake just to get damage on whatever he wanted to bring in or kill what was in front of me. He goes into the Hitmontop and intimidates me, and I'm thinking, okay, Hitmontop basically completely counters my team at this point. If I bring in Excadrill, I'm dead. If I bring in T-Tar, I roll. It's a roll with my Chople Berry to be dead from a close combat. I bring in Charizard X, I'm dead. This thing is dead if it stays in. So something's going to die. I'm going to protect. I want to see what he has. If he goes for a Mach Punch, if he goes for a close combat, what he goes for Toxic. And I'm like, okay, is he guessing to switch out into Char X? Or the T-Tar? Like, why would you Toxic in front of a Komala? Exactly, I was a little confused, but it didn't seem to work out for him that much. I decided to go for a Wish again as I'm full health. He goes for a Stone Edge. So I know he had this thing prepared for a Char X. As I Wish here, and I'm like, okay, I'm just going to Wish Protect. I'm going to get my HP up to full. I still want to see what he has for fighting move. If he doesn't have close combat, then I know T-Tar can take this thing on better than risking a roll if he does. If he doesn't have close combat, also I can go into Char X and live a Mach Punch. So I go for the Protect. I'm going to get myself up to full health. My best shot of living any type of close combat he has is being in full health. He goes for the Stone Edge a second time, I'm guessing just trying to really kind of hit me hard with something, or guessing I would switch out, finally, and wish passion to something else and kill it before it could come in. And now he finally quits the close combat. I'm thinking, why don't you just do this turn 1? But he does take out Kamal in one hit. Sadly, Kamal didn't do much. It was my own fault of bringing it in when I did. But he lowers his special defense and stuff thanks to close combat. And with that lowered defenses, I can see that T-Tar will do decently against him now. Charizard X will do decently against him now. They're not going to be intimidated. So I go into Charizard X. And I'm sitting here like, okay, this is going to be another role play. Either he goes into the Heatran to absorb the Flare Blitz, or Mimikyu to absorb the Declaw. So I clicked Earthquake. Seemed like the better play, even though Flare Blitz would have killed from here. And he's going to go right for the Stone Edge. He lands and kills my Charizard X. It was a weird toss-up if I chose Dragon Claw or Flare Blitz, so I decided to go with the safer one of Earthquake. At this point, I probably should have just ran the risk of him bringing in Heatran and click Flare Blitz to kill this thing. But now I go into my Tyranitar, and I'm sitting here like, okay, I have a role to live a close combat. It's a small role, but it's there. With my Chople Berry, so I go for Thunder Punch. It does the most damage to this thing compared to Pursuit and Rock Slide, and I bring him down really low, and the close combat comes. I get my Chople Berry activated, and T-Tar lives on 4 HP. Bobby Roode, our T-Tar, pulled it out, and he's just going with it, and sadly this turn T-Tar will be able to take him out. If you were a little confused, I just kind of remembered that T-Tar actually did trade to get T-Tar. If you didn't see the last video, traded Nihilego for T-Tar, worth the same, so I did it. And I decided to Rock Slide here in case he decided to be cheeky and save this and bring in Thundurus instead. It would have killed the Thundurus, you know, things would go like that, but it does just take out the Hitmontop. He brings in the Mimikyu now, and I'm like, okay, is he going to Wood Hammer me? What's he going to try to do? He goes for the Shadow Claw. Simple. He could have Shadow Sneaked either if he had it, but either way, T-Tar has the Sand Up now. Excadrill is the last line of defense. I have to bring him in now, and I wish I kind of would have got one more turn. And if T-Tar would have died to the close combat, Excadrill would have had that one more turn of sand to do what he needed to do. And right now I just Swords Dance, because I know he has Wood Hammer, but that's not going to do more than half to me, so I can just Swords Dance up right now, and I have to Swords Dance to be able to kill Thundurus with anything. So he goes for the Wood Hammer, and ends up taking himself out in the process, and now I'm at +2, I'm faster than Thundurus at this point with the Sand Up. I need to go with it. I need either a crit Shadow Claw or him to miss 2 Focus Blasts to be able to really go with it. And he goes into Heatran. Was not expecting the Heatran switch here, and because I'm faster than it, I'm Sand Rush, I kill it with Earthquake. Pretty standard. I mean, what else would Excadrill quick against a Heatran? And if he is Scarfed, then maybe he didn't know that where I was EV'd at, but I was faster and I killed it. And if he would have brought in Thundurus there, then I would have been faster than him and risked a crit before he could kill me. And now that Sand's gone, I'm not anywhere close to beating this Thundurus Therian in speed. So I'm sitting here like, I have to crit a Shadow Claw, and he has to miss 2. And he misses the first, and I have to crit here to win. And sadly, even with the boosted chance from Shadow Claw, it doesn't crit. And I'm like, okay, if he misses again, because it's Focus Miss, if he misses again, I can kill him with Shadow Claw and I win this. And coming down to hacks for the end of the game, he hits the Focus Blast. I'm glad it didn't come down to hacks for me to win at that point, because it would have been a toss-up. Okay, well, if you would have done this, I would have done this. It would have been more controversial of an ending. I'm more happy that even though I lost, it was kind of solid that killed me. But as we go on, we're 1-2 now. That's what we can do. Hopefully our new edition of T-Tar will be able to help Excadrill really well with that Sand Rush and things. But if you guys enjoyed watching this battle, check out Norcena's links down below. Get ready for more PGL stuff coming at you in the next few weeks. And get ready for PAX East coming up in next week. I'll be there. If I see you, shout out, do all that things. Come see me. I'll be there. Be in Boston. But anyway, thank you guys for coming out. I'm Carson. This is Toxic Gaming. And as always, you guys stay toxic. We'll see you guys.